Hello, good day, everyone. This is Olive of Olive Photographics. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time to be here, go ahead and click subscribe at the button below. And if you're a visiting subscriber, then welcome back. Today, I'm going to talk about strategies to support parents during remote learning, which is very much related to my previous topic. And in the last topic, I talked about the 5 roles of parents during remote learning. This time, I'm going to talk about um, the strategies that teachers can use to support parents during remote learning. So let's begin. After attending the webinar and having learned so much, I took down notes and made my own 5 strategies to support parents. And here are the 5 strategies. First, I really think that communication is vital. Make sure you establish relationship with parents and make those emotional deposits. Use tools like phone, text, emails, and applications to communicate with them. Keep it easy and explicit. Limit the technology tools you're using. Think of parents as co-teachers. If we teachers need training to use tech tools, so does parents. And they need time to really get familiar with the technology that we are using in our online class. Okay, listen to parents and include them in plans. I do recommend including them in your monthly meetings, recognize them, and I did just that, and it turned out to be something really good and very um I'd say effective in establishing a relationship with them. I allowed parents to have 2 minute sharing every time we have our monthly meeting with the whole class. And I usually ask them ahead of time. I ask a parent to do like the welcome address, in our monthly meeting. I ask a parent to share their experience in math, another one in reading, and another one in writing, and just giving everyone a feedback. And that made everyone felt like they were not alone because other parents are also experiencing what they have experienced. So listening to them has really helped me tweak a lot of my plans. And they knew when I implemented the plans or the ideas that they have suggested. So I would say that listening to parents and including them in your plans is another way to support parents. Now, the fourth strategy I have here is to provide an online tool chest for parents. Honestly, I didn't do this the last time. I did have several tech support videos, which was all over my Google Classroom, but they were never in a tool chest. They were not in one single place that parents can revisit all the time. Now, in my next slide, I'm going to teach you how or mention to you how you can actually make online tool chests for parents. So in Google Classroom or in your website, just have a box or like a corner with links for parents to visit for them and to revisit when they need to. So a number of parents lost passwords, did not know how to go to Epic, did not know how to log into Pearson, all of that stuff. This coming fall, I would want them all in one corner as in online tool chest for parents, including the videos that I make on how to use Google Slides, how to fill up PDFs online, how to do videos, submit photos, all of that stuff. I will have them in one box and make sure that they are able to access to it whenever they need to. Last but not the least, of course, is sharing expectation with parents. It's involving them in your plans, which is very similar to the third strategy, and letting them know what your plans are, what are the reward and consequence situation, what to expect in the next month. It's really wonderful to share this at the beginning so that there will not be, we will listen the confusion, and also we will listen the stress on their part. Now on my third slide, I want to just go a little bit deeper on the 5 strategies. So let's go back to the first one, which is communication is vital. When communicating with parents, make it clear which ones do they, or where can they find the group announcement versus urgent personal messages that need their immediate attention. So my parents already know that whatever it is that everyone needs to know, I post it right there in the wall. If I need something from them, I leave them a message in Class Dojo. If it is something urgent, I send them a text message. But if it is something that I really need to talk to them, like right now, because we have to deal with it right away, or that I need their help, I need their signature, I call them. So there are levels and degrees of communication, I would say, in which they know how to respond to. So if it's a group announcement, they're like, okay, Mr. Barkis is just saying that. Well, now she's leaving me a private message in Class Dojo. Now I have to deal with that. Or when it's a text message, they know they really have to either call me or reply to my text message. But when it's a call, they really know it's something very urgent. So I don't know if you use a kind of, how do you call that, degrees of communication, but my parents know when I use those types of messages, and they know how to respond to those. So I also recommend avoiding sending too many messages or too many emails, too many text messages. Personally, as a parent, I find that very stressful and overwhelming. If it is just my child not completing a work this week, and if it's something that that's not urgently due, like you're just going to eventually tally that to his grade for the grading period, then I would appreciate a text message at the end of the month. Having to text me every time my son did not complete a work is too much for me. That's why personally, as a teacher, I use Class Dojo. It has an application that allows the parent, whenever the child is missing a work, or even Google Classroom actually tells a parent and a child when they're missing a work. And I'm also kind of, I wouldn't say lenient, but I'm very understanding with students not completing work on time. So I usually keep the deadline open, or I usually give them like a month or even like a week if it's something that I want to grade right away to complete a work. So I'm like that because I always think that, if they were already doing something with me, then I informally have assessed them, except if it is let's say a topic test or a chapter test that I do like press for them to really complete it, and they know also that they have to. So focus on really important information or messages. And another way to reduce sending a lot of messages, especially if they didn't complete a work, is to use again classdojo.com, which I have a whole video of it. You should just watch it. It's somewhere here in my YouTube channel. It's very helpful in establishing communication with parents when students complete or do not complete work, or whether when they're late or absent. It gives an how do you call this, a real time notification to the parents, whatever it is that they're missing, or when they're doing great, it also gives them that notification when their child is doing awesome in my online class. The second one, strategy, which is keeping it easy and explicit. I try to agree and decide with my class the applications and technology that we use often. So I try not to use new and popular ones. It should be something that I have taught them to use, and it should be something that are easy to use. I try to avoid too many logins, applications that require multiple skills. Uh, PDF writing is very difficult for K to 3, and just doing something from my slide, I realize is still difficult for my students. So unless I have given them a webinar in that matter, then I wouldn't require them to do it. So my plan this fall on the first month is that I really had to teach them at least maybe five skills and applications which we will be using over and over. And I want to keep it easy and explicit. I intend to use Google Classroom add-ons and everything that Class Dojo is offering. Now let's move on to listening to parents and including them in your plans. Parents actually have become our co-teachers. So it is good to hear their feedback and ask them how our online classroom looks like at home. Let's also recognize their effort, celebrate their success, listen and act on their valuable feedback, greet them when you see them in the morning setting up their child, invite them to your meetings. If they have time at the end of the day to give you a quick feedback, invite them to do so. And parents actually know when you implement their suggestions. If there's any takeaway that I learned during online teaching, remote learning from March to June, it was really that my parents' suggestions were very valuable to me, and whenever I implement it, I feel their positive energy. They support whatever it is that they suggested to me. So it made my work so much easier, especially when the suggestion come from the parents. Okay, let's move on to my fourth and final slide. Moving on to the fourth strategy, which is to provide an online chest for parents. Honestly, I wasn't able to do this, and I have already mentioned that, and I really intend to do this. I think this is going to be very helpful in Google Classroom. I can just create another subject that has something to do with online tools, and in Class Dojo, in under portfolio, I'm gonna do an online tool chest for parents also. So maybe a playlist of videos that can help them navigate our classroom, your classroom, directions to log in, important links, a visual daily routine, which is really very helpful to parents. An FAQ, this is something new. I was so impressed listening to the speaker of the webinar mentioning an FAQ for common problems in remote learning. I think this is a very brilliant one. If a teacher of any of my children would do this, I would really send a gift to that teacher, because you know how easy it is that you just type on their Google Classroom and you're just directed to the answer of your very specific question. And I do already have tech support videos. I plan to continue modifying them and making them simple so that the parents can just go to it and do some self-help, and even the students do some self-help whenever they're online in the classroom. Last but not the least, of course, let's share our expectations as teachers to the parents. Many parents are confused, angry, and fearful during this time. It's very important to level off expectations. The simpler the expectations, the easier it is to carry out, the easier it is to tweak to accommodate parents' expectations at the same time. Now, don't just tell them your expectations, but even build it with them. What do I mean with this? In my experience from March to June 2020, during the monthly meetings, I asked the parents what their ideas were and what their suggestions were, and I tweaked my expectations to accommodate theirs. So it was so that the result of that was that they knew that they were being heard, and now because their suggestions were included, we were actually building the expectations together, that it increased accountability on all sides, from me as a teacher, from them as parents, and of course from their children who were my students. So when concern arose from any of the activities they had, they know what to do with it, and having shared expectation kept everyone accountable. Okay, I guess that's it for my 5 strategies to support parents during remote learning. Thank you all for watching. You may still go ahead, copy, and improve these ideas. You can even make a 10 strategies to support parents. Guys, we need each other during this very challenging and confusing time. It's a time of great curveball and transition, but we are doing this because we have to keep moving, and soon, hopefully in the future, we will go back to something that's more familiar to us. So if this has been helpful to you, make sure to come back for more, to watch, learn, and share. If you have not yet subscribed, subscribe here in Olive Photographics. What's next on our list for more help tips? I even have fun videos just to, take mental breaks online. And always watch out for what's next on our list here in Olive Photographics YouTube channel. And thank you so much. Have a good day.